Superman is a fictional superhero that was the first of his kind. Due to his very first appearance in 1938 with Action Comics issue number 1, Superman has become a popular pop culture icon from the superhero genre. Despite that, Superman actually had 2 different known or planned appearances before 1938. The first version was called The Reign of Superman, to which Superman would have become a villain other than becoming the friendly and kind superhero that everyone fell in love with today. This version is very scarce by physical form, but readily available online. The other version has very little information known about its own existence, making it difficult to find. 5 years later, Superman came to the world about 3 years before Batman's first official debut. The reign of Superman is still lost forever, and may never see the light of day given its creator's shame and rage.
Donkey Kong is no stranger to lost media. Throughout the ape's career, around the 2000s, Rare was developing several games for the upcoming Nintendo Game Boy Advance and Nintendo GameCube games to start each existing Nintendo series at the time, such as Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Kirby, Metroid, Star Fox, and of course Donkey Kong. There was one Donkey Kong game that was different from the rest of the Nintendo games developed at the time. It was called Donkey Kong Coconut Crackers. It was a puzzle game where DK drops coconuts that is filled with paint, while players would use the paint to make rectangles and squares. It was shown at E3 in 2001, and it was unknown when the game would ever be released at the time. Unfortunately, Microsoft had bought Rare on September 2002, to which many games were in development would have been reworked or cancelled, including Donkey Kong Coconut Crackers. It would have been reworked into It's Mr. Pants on December 7th, 2004.
Meyer Motors was a game that was planned as a Nintendo DS game into the Mario Kart series. Mario Motors would have been very different than every other Mario Kart installments released at the time. The idea is that players can build engines out of chunks of metal in the game. There was also the idea to add the blowing device into the DS mic into the game as well for teaching acceleration. There wasn't any official tracks announced for Mario Motors, and the only character shown was Mario and a mysterious new original character as an elderly scientist. It's unknown why the game was officially cancelled by Nintendo and Sato, but some theories spread as such as the difficulty of the development, Mario Motors being replaced by Mario Kart DS, or health problems based on the DS mic gimmick. Mario Motors was scrapped as a game and it was never heard from again until it was a brand name for Mario Kart 8 and onwards. Wow, I think Nintendo actually still mentioned about Mario Motors despite the game was cancelled years ago.
Grand Theft Auto Sega Saturn was a cancelled port of Grand Theft Auto that was intended to be released onto the Sega Saturn in December of 1996. It would have followed the same agenda as the first Grand Theft Auto game at the time. However, there was a couple of reasons why the Sega Saturn port was cancelled and never saw the light of day. The first reason was that the Sega Saturn sales was very poor, which resulted Grand Theft Auto's developers Rockstar Games to cancel the port for the Sega Saturn. Another reason is that Rockstar Games wanted to focus on the PC version of the game. Since then, there is very little information known about the Sega Saturn port's existence. The only evidence of the game's planning is this article detailing about the port.
This is Mario's second time being on this list. It's very surprising that Mario has lots of content lost over the years. However, this game is no exception. Super Mario Spikers, also known as Mario Volleyball, is a cancelled game that was created by Nintendo to follow up on the Mario spin-off series, such as Mario Party, Mario Kart, Super Mario Strikers, and every Mario sports game released at the time. Production began around 2005 and it was meant to be released around 2007 for the Nintendo Wii. The team was compelled to try to include wrestling elements into this game after their recent work, WWE Titans Parts Unknown, which causes the game to change to Super Mario Spikers. Concept art, playable prototypes, and animations were made and shown to Nintendo. Unfortunately, Nintendo rejected the idea due to the game's violence that went against their code of honor. The result was to stop production on the game, and it was cancelled. Since then, Nintendo has never picked the game back up from the dust, and it remains cancelled to this day due to Nintendo's decision on what they want or don't want on Mario, their multi-billion-dollar property. This one is a bit grisly. If you have nightmares about haunting dolls or horror games, please skip to the next item on the list. Chucky Wanna Play is a cancelled stealth action horror game based on the movie Child's Play. The game was announced on May of 2011 by Tick Games for PC and other consoles revealed at the time. Despite Tick Games creating a Kickstarter campaign on October of 2012, it would only need $925,000 in order to complete the game before it could be released nationwide. However, it was cancelled due to financial problems, with only 19 backers with around $585 total out of the $925,000, failing the amount of money needed to finish development on the game. The game would have players be available to play as the victims or Chucky. Very little information is known about the plot of the game, other than that it would have been based on the respective movie franchise.
Pinocchio was a 1940 Disney film that has been loved by fans for decades. However, the film has several deleted scenes that come up from time to time again. But I'm not talking about the deleted scenes from this film. I'm talking about a lost voice recording. Honest John's sidekick Gideon the Cat was voiced by Mel Blanc, the man of 1,000 voices. Blanc has given Gideon a drunk voice. However, Walt Disney wasn't happy about the voice accent, to which Disney chose to mute Gideon instead of having Blanc making a non-drunk voice for the character. The 3 hiccups is the only known evidence to tell that it was voiced by Mel Blanc. It's unknown where the rest of Blanc's recordings are now, and it's highly unknown if Disney has even Gideon's voice recordings anymore. Now allow me to switch the topic on this one. Similar to the Minnie and Mickey Mouse sex tape, this lost short was made sometime in the late 1930s and early 1940s by the Fellowshire brothers. Despite very little information known about the short, there's a small plot about it. The plot would have involved Popeye coming to visit Miami to see Betty Boop, to which she'll give him an quote-unquote an extreme warm welcome. One of the scenes would have involved Popeye wearing down after their session with Betty as Popeye eats his signature spinach to finish the job. The short was never heard from again and remained obscure for a long time. In 1942, the Fellowshire brothers were removed from the studio by Paramount executives and the short was gone. Like the Minnie and Mickey Mouse sex tape, the short had no evidence to back up its existence, making it remain in obscurity. To this day, the short has never been found and it remained a mystery, leaving it truly lost forever.
Shantae Advanced, or Shantae 2 Risky Revolution, was the original sequel to the Game Boy Color game Shantae. The sequel would have been improved from the first game, especially a new 4-player battle mode that contained Shantae, Risky Boots, Bolo, and Roddy Tops. The plot would have revolved around Risky Boots using a tremor engine to wipe out Sequinland. It was up to Shantae to stop Risky Boots and her diabolical plan. The game would have provided the ability to change costumes on Shantae throughout story mode and the ability for Shantae to swim. The game was indeed completed, but there was just one problem. Shantae's developers, WayForward, had a difficult time finding a publisher to release the game for the Game Boy Advance. This resulted in the cancellation of the game, and Shantae wouldn't have a sequel until 2010. This is where Shantae, Risky's Revenge, would have been released onto the Nintendo DSiWare. At the time of writing this video, only one copy is known to exist for Shantae 2 Risky Revolution. It was shown by Twitch user Matt Bozon. He stated that he'll be able to release the game to the public, but it hasn't occurred at this time.
The Seven Taurus is one of the more interesting animated films on this list. This film was created as early as 1918. It was meant to be Winston McKay's last short film before being forced out of animation in 1921. The plot would involve a female senator to which she engages in a romantic and meeting up with a male senator. The short fell into obscurity, leaving it forgotten until 1947, when it was filmed by Irvin Meadows-Solary. Unfortunately, due to storage problems, it was in bad quality that some scenes of the film were decomposed completely. At least 2 minutes of the film was found, to which it's one of the only known evidence of this film's existence. Many questions were asked for why the Senators wasn't completed. Some said it was due to budget issues, others said the remaining parts of the film was destroyed. The most popular reason is that McKay was forced out of the animation industry, to which it played a role of the film's cancellation.
Monster School was a Japanese educational show that was created by NHK. The series ran from 2001 to 2006, with only 54 episodes aired. The settings and characters were based on Japanese urban legends and folklore, while the main subject was to teach children about the importance of communication. The series involved an ordinary boy named Nobuo, who lives with a family of Tengus named Otengu, the husband, and Metengu, the wife, while his real parents are traveling to Africa for work. Nobuo goes to a school on the 101st floor in the Monster Heights apartment called Monster School. He befriends many Japanese mythical creatures, such as Miko, a magical cat, Byakko, a fox, the Yukinki brothers, twin yetis, and more with special powers. Other than the plot and episodes, very little information is known about the show, and it remains obscured. It is stated that each episode ran about 15 minutes, and 13 episodes were listed from the school, while the other 41 unlisted episodes remain missing. On June 25th of 2017, a user named Dadistalon uploaded the second full episode onto YouTube, but it was removed by NHK due to copyright. Luckily, a user named Central Nostalgia had uploaded the episode of Monster School onto YouTube as well. The series is still lost, but at least one episode has been available online.
Remember when I talked about Meyer Motors earlier in the video? This one's a bit different because it was released around the 1990s. There's very little information known about this Mario anime, other than the fact that it exists. Despite that this anime was Japan exclusive, this means that it was never released nationwide, it was only shown in Japan schools. The anime was called Super Mario no Kurose Anazin, which is translated to Super Mario's Traffic Safety. It's unknown if this anime was supposed to be a series with episodes or just a promotional advertisement from Nintendo. Interestingly, the only Mario characters that was shown in the anime was Mario and Bowser. The anime is still lost, but only a few screenshots can be found online, to which it's the only known evidence of this anime's existence.
Hi guys, it's RedBoiPaul here, and I wanted to add something to it. So while I was writing that Chucky wanted to play script, so I kind of had a bit of a nightmare on it. So let me explain. That night I went to bed and I was dreaming. So I just imagined a dark room to which there's no doors. I run, only to find out there was a creepy doll following me. I remember that it was trying to chase me. I don't remember what it was trying to do, but I was able to wake up the next morning and I thought it was kind of dumb, but I got over it like later on. So yeah, I thought it was pretty weird and I wanted to share that. Yeah. Thanks for watching the video and I hope you guys like it. Well, bye.